What's up, North County? Welcome to the Morning Brew, and today we have our special guest host. We have Austin Solheim with Echo Shelters.
Hey, you got it.
I know, man.
That was good.
Listen, I was up all night. I was in the mirror. I was just like, hey, Austin, everything.
Third time's the charm.
Right?
Time's the charm. Right.
Yeah, I almost called you Bill Jacobs, and you're with the, Lizard Foundation or something.
Hey, I would have rolled with it. It would have been good.
Awesome, man. Well, thanks for coming in again. So hopefully you had fun last time.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for having me. It's just such, it's a great opportunity to come on, talk to the community, let them know what's going on with Echo and what's going on in North County.
Yeah, so let's, before we start digging into that, so Austin, let's talk about what kind of hobbies do you do? I mean, what else do you do besides work all the time? Besides
work all the time, I mean, if you ask my wife, she would say that I golf all the time. But other than that, my wife and I really, being new to the Central Coast and her being from here, she tries to get me to everything that is amazing out here. So we try to hit the farmers markets when we can. We try to see what events are going on throughout the community, try to go to those. We have a beautiful little 9-month-old, so we're always trying to find things that we can just do as a family together.
River Glen,
right? River Glen. I've been listening. I heard, there might be a taco fest and a sheriff's rodeo coming up that we might be hitting, but
right,
trying to really just get out there as much as possible as a family. That's our goal.
So you said your wife's from here also? Mm-hmm. Because you were kind of from here, right?
So I grew up north of here, but she actually, her parents were in Templeton.
Okay.
And so it was a pretty easy transition for us coming down here.
So, like for you, I mean, have you been out to Parkfield? Have you been out to the Parkfield Cafe?
I have not.
Oh, wow. Okay. So you got to go there.
Okay.
You've been out to Creston.
Been out to Creston.
Okay. Long Branch, Loading Chute.
Mm-hmm.
So
absolutely.
Both phenomenal restaurants. What about, have you been over to Harmony?
I have not.
So that little place over on Highway 1, go out 46, shoot left, and it's like a little town, I think of, 5 people. But they have some cool stuff in there. They have like glass blowing.
Oh, yes. Oh, yeah. My wife, when actually we were dating, we would come out and we'd go up there and we'd check all that stuff out too.
So what are some of your favorite places in the North County?
Oh, man. I don't know if I would say give me a year before I could make that list. I think some of the places that we love, I love going out to Morro Bay. I love being near the ocean, kind of going out there, checking out kind of all the areas, Morro Bay all the way up to Cambria. Man, there's so many good things to do, and it just depends on the weekend. Right? Some of the times we're out in Paso, we love going out to Creston. Loading Chute's one of my favorite restaurants in the area. And there's great things to do in Atascadero too. There's so many fun things going to the zoo with the little ones and hanging out there. You just can't go wrong.
So speaking of the zoo, Atascadero has their Brew at the Zoos this weekend, right? Are you going to be attending that, or probably not with the kid, huh?
Probably not with the little one, probably not.
But the Brew at the Zoo, so we've had, Terry Banish in here with the city of Atascadero a few times, and the zoo is out of 4,000 zoos across the country. Atascadero Charles Paddock Zoo is one of the 200 accredited zoos across the country.
Wow.
Which means, I don't know what that means exactly, but it means something pretty serious, because I'm sure it has to do regulations and, what they bring in, what they take out, and they're, doing some trading and stuff like that with some more other zoos maybe. But the cool thing about Atascadero is that zoo, I think it's like this little gem that's, kind of over in the corner that nobody really knows about. You know what I'm saying?
I would 100% agree with you. The first time that I have a 6-year-old nephew, and he'd been there before, but he wanted to take us. He wanted to take my wife and I, so we went, we got the 9-month-old in there, and I didn't realize how big it was and how many animals were in there. I had no idea. I'd always seen the flamingos on the outside, but I'd never stepped through and gone and seen all of the animals that were there, and it was awesome. It was a wonderful experience, and it's so nice to have something so local right there at the lake, too.
And you immediately, right when you walk in, you hang a right and you have that big old tiger display, right?
Absolutely.
And so you're right. You know, it's bigger than it looks from the outside. You know, there's so many different, different exotic animals and fingers that just go, oh, hey, there's another something else over here, type deal. And the animals, it's just such a cool thing to have right here in the North County.
It is, and they do so much to connect with our youth in the area too. So I mean, all of the elementary schools, everything that get the opportunity to go there and learn and have that right here in our community, it's pretty incredible.
Yeah. So let's talk about a little bit about last week. So last Thursday we had the empty bowls in Atascadero.
That's right.
At the ABC Church.
Yeah, we had some great celebrity servers, including yourself. I want to hear what you thought about it. You're the new to it. You get to see it from the other side.
Remember, this isn't about me talking. This is about you talking. Actually, it was pretty cool. I was first off, I was pretty blown away with all the different soups. You know what I'm saying? And I was kind of stationed up next to Jennifer Idler. She had she had cabbage soup, I think it was, and so I'm just thinking to myself, going, how come I never make soups? I mean, this seems so easy, to where you could just put a bunch of stuff in there and make these soups. But I thought it was pretty cool.
That's awesome. It was for me, it was so nice to get back to that event in person. And it was so nice to have the community to come out, to have our celebrity servers set up at the stations, to have the artists there kind of representing the bowls, showing everybody the bowls, and knowing that the dollars that people spend on those tickets are really going back to our programs back at Echo too, because the bowls are donated, the celebrity servers are donated their time, the soups are donated, and this year, both of the spaces are donated too. So this year, ABC Church in Atascadero last week generously donated that. And then Studios on the Park is donating the space to us tonight for our second Empty Bowls as well in Paso Robles.
That's awesome. Yeah, and it was just fun. It wasn't like, oh, hey, there's a soup, thanks again. I mean, well, first of all, I think at the door, somebody should tell them that they can have more than one soup. Because I don't know how many people I said, they're like, oh man, there's so many to try. I don't know what to, and of course I'm selling my soup because I thought it was a competition. I had Bruce Gibson next to me and I had Jennifer Idler next to me, and I was trying to, get rid of my soup before they did, kind of win to the bottom. But they're like, oh, I don't know which one to try, and I'm like, well, try mine, and then you can try somebody else's. They're like, you can do that? I'm like, absolutely. So.
We definitely heard that feedback and instituted some greeters at the door for the second seating there too, to kind of help out with that too. I think one of my favorite stories that came from it, though, we did not have anything like which soup got assigned to which celebrity server. And Supervisor John Pashong was one of our second shift servers there, and he ended up getting a vegan chili. And he also happens to be the head of the Cattlemen's Association. So I thought that was a pretty good combo. He was just a wonderful, good sport. All of our celebrity servers were amazing, just pushing the soups, talking to people, helping us just raise money for Echo, which is awesome.
Yeah, and it was cool to see, just like I said, just to see the people. There were people, they were talking. There was a gentleman that he doesn't even live here. He comes up from somewhere, and he said he's been coming for the last, 5, 6, 7 years or whatever it is, and he likes the fact that excuse me, that he can get back in front of, being in, like, how did you do it during COVID?
We did a drive-through.
Okay.
We did a drive-through. So one year it was really like, people pulling up and us really handing bags. One year it was, kind of that drive-through, people coming, grabbing different soups, picking out their bowl and then headed. So it was just really nice to get back to the actual sit-down event and being able to try all the soups again too.
Yeah, that's what this gentleman was saying. He said that he likes the fact that he can, be in person, try the different soups. But it was funny because I kept filling to the top, to the very, like, they'd come over with their soup. Sometimes their soup bowl, like, some of them had really big ones, right? They're like, here you go. I'm like, cool. They're like, you're going to fill this up? I'm like, if you want me to. They're like, no, just do this one. But I would fill it to the top, and they're like, oh, wow. So it's like, I'm not rationing. I'm giving everybody to the top.
I love it. Well, and one of the things that we love about this event is that we get to highlight some of the local restaurants that people might not be familiar with as well. This year, just in Atascadero, we had 18 different restaurants and chefs represented, which is really incredible. And then again, tonight in Paso, we have 7 more local restaurants from Paso Robles that are going to be represented too.
So I think on the chefs, because I had it was Chef Ryan, I think on my second batch of
Mm-hmm.
stuff. I think next to me was a Chef Dave, but I would have liked to know where they're at.
So some of those, we had 2 individual chefs that one was out of retirement. He was retired. He just has been doing this event for so long. So previously he was with the restaurant, but he just wanted to continue supporting Echo. All of the other restaurants were represented kind of with their logos and ingredients and all that stuff. But we had 2, I will even call them our celebrity chefs that just they've been doing this for years and just wanted to give back.
Oh, no kidding. So what do you think out of all the soups, both, seatings, which one was the top seller?
Oh man, I don't know if I could pick one. I think that it's a combination of the celebrity server that was selling.
I was trying, man. I was trying.
You were doing good. I mean, there were so many different types. We had everything from some fan favorites like the clam chowder from Giovanni's down in Morro Bay to the Mexican tortilla from McPhee's. There was a gumbo yaya from the halfway station.
Right.
Amy and Jamie were there from Amy and Jamie's place serving their soup, talking about all of the ingredients and everything that they put into it. I don't think I could tell you one soup that was the favorite at all. We had, a tomato bisque from Street Side and another tomato from Niner Wine Estates. Those 2 were going head to head for best tomato soup. And then anything that we had left over, we got to bring back to our campus too.
Oh,
and
nice.
so our residents all got to enjoy that soup. And I just remember coming in later that night and there was grilled cheese everywhere and tomato soup going on. And that just made my heart happy too.
Oh, that's awesome. It would be cool to have like a contest. Like everybody that's there participate. Like, hey, put your, top, 1, 2, and 3.
I like that.
So the next year you can have a empty bowls
Number 1 soup.
Soup winner.
Okay.
Kind of like the mac and cheese or, all these other, contests, Bloody Mary drinking, whatever. But you know what I'm saying? So where, somebody wins it. Because I think from what I heard, I was, like I said, I had, what did I have first? I had turkey. I had the turkey soup, which surprisingly, everybody was just like, oh, get some turkey soup. They wanted turkey soup. So I'm like, I'll sell some turkey soup. But the gumbo was... Everybody was walking by with the gumbo, and then I think the second one I got a Southwest pork, and whoo, that smelled pretty spicy.
There were too many soups for me to even try them all, which was the best thing ever. But yeah, 18 different soup providers for that event, which was mind-blowing. It was so awesome.
Now, will those same supervisors be doing that tonight too, or do you have another batch?
So we have another batch of soup providers for tonight.
Oh,
so
wow.
In total, between the 2 events, we had over 25 different soup providers, 2 different dessert providers, and 4 different bakeries helping us do the bread and all of that. And they all generously donated all of those goods and services to be a part of the event.
Wow. So like I said, that was pretty cool. That was a pretty cool event, and it was warming to see all the people there. And what time did we start at 11? Mm-hmm. I was surprised to see that many people there at 11. So I'm thinking, okay, so the next seating was at 12:30.
12:30,
right?
yeah.
So, and you said that you had just as many people come through then as the morning one.
Yeah, in total we had about 350 people come through for that event. So it was really, really just amazing to see, and we just loved that the community was able to come out and join us.
So I was noticing on some of the bowls, like right here, what is it, Ariane,
yeah.
Ariane. So is this a student?
No, so this is there's everything from, when it comes to the bowls, everything from professional artists that have been doing this for years, that this is their full-time gig, to students that have been trying this for their first time. So we have students from Cuesta College, students from Morro Bay High, students from Paso, students from the Fine Arts Academy, and then local artists that donate, 10, 15, 20, upwards to 50 bowls for this event. So we've just collected these bowls from all over the Central Coast and from all local artists, aspiring artists, everything. So it's just really cool. So when you walk up there, and as you can see, these are 2 artists that are very, very different. In the way that they design, the way that they do it, they're both very, very beautiful, but there's no 2 bowls that are the same when you walk up there and you see them.
Well, what I thought was interesting when you guys, took down the tablecloth over the bowls, because you were kind of, waiting for that display, that show, the revealing of the bowls. And I was expecting bowls like this, round bowls, maybe some different, but there were some interesting creative bowls. Some of them were like off. They weren't like completely like flat and round like this. They were tilted. They were kind of like on a side. One was, I think, in the shape of like an egg. Had like a broken, missing piece. I'm like, man, that's pretty creative.
There's so many different bowls that, and not only just the style of the bowls, but sometimes it's the style of the way that they're working with the material too. So some of them are folded, right? Instead of kind of being this fine-tuned looking like a bowl, they have kind of these sharper edges, and they've decorated them to look like jeans, going over the top and layering on top of it, or different pieces. It's just really cool to see how they make all the bowls.
Oh, we do?
Yep.
All right. Well, we're gonna go to
Lori Bryant's on the phone. Lori, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
All right. Well, we got the one and the only Slow County News, Lori Bryant,
go.
on the air right now. Lori, good morning.
Good morning. How are you guys?
We are doing great. How are you?
I'm awesome. I'm awesome. Congratulations to Echo for their wonderful turnout on in a Arrow, and I hope they have just as good a one tonight. It's such a wonderful program. I need more people like this.
Yeah. Well, Austin can't hear you. Unfortunately, he didn't get an ear fob, but I'll tell him everything that you said. She said that. Good job. Excellent time.
Thank you, Lori.
So,
Hi, Austin. Anyway, so the report this morning, clear on our side, but when you hit the grade, there's fog. There is some real dense fog on the south side. So just be aware of that. There is one accident in San Luis, but not here. We're clear. Deer are really starting to come out. So there's been a lot of deer hit. So be aware of that as well. Animals are coming out. They're going for water. It's going to be like 90 degrees here today. Woohoo! So I'm excited. I like this. It's amazing. I hope it stays for the next week. But other than that, it's been clear. We didn't have any major drama yesterday, thankfully. And again, tonight is the big night for soup in the park. So
yep, soup in the park.
That's pretty much it on my end.
Absolutely. Well,
so that's
like I said, I'm glad there's no news to report, because obviously that means we're keeping safe and keeping between the lines up here. So, but Lori, what I want to know is,
oh no,
what? No.
I know this is okay.
No, we're not talking about that. We're not talking about. We're not saying the S word.
Okay, thank God.
We're not saying the S word.
Good.
So, what is your favorite kind of soup?
I love soup, so I don't have a favorite. I would be the one that would say, please don't fill my bowl because I want to test the next one. So I love all kinds of soups. My mom used to make them homemade when I was a kid, and it would just be, you never knew what it was going to be, but it was always good.
Yeah.
Always good. So,
and it's great on a cold evening.
Yes, exactly. Even if it's a nice evening, it's awesome to have a bowl of soup and a grilled cheese sandwich. I mean, how do you beat that?
Bowl of soup and a grilled cheese sandwich together. Have you ever heard of that?
Oh yeah.
Really?
Oh yeah.
We always do it.
Huh. I've never heard
grilled
of that.
Cheese sandwich with a bowl of soup. That's the life.
All right. Well, that's news to me. I'll have to try that.
That's delicious.
Awesome. Well, Lori,
Delicious.
again, as always, we really appreciate.
Hey, they did do the successful launch this morning. So if you see the smoke trail in the sky, it is not an alien. It is not a spy ship. The Falcon X lifted off and it's successful.
Yeah, we got to make sure that we let the viewers know that it's not a missile coming in. It's a successful launch out of Vandenberg.
Yes, sir.
Awesome. Well, awesome, Lori. Like I said, thank you so much. We always appreciate you calling in and filling us in and keeping us on our toes in the North County of what's happening.
You got it, and have a beautiful day, both of you, and Austin as well.
You do the same. Thank you.
All right, bye.
Bye-bye. Lori Bryant, Slow County News. Follow their page. So they report on everything. It's like better than the news.
They're everywhere.
Yeah, it's like way better than the news. So speaking of the news and food, so we got Taco Fest on Saturday as well. So this is their first Taco Fest in Paso. Do you like tacos?
I mean, this is how I recover from soup. So I love tacos. I'm all
What's your favorite taco?
I'm a straight carne asada street side taco. Just give me that all day long.
Now, do you just like the taco with the meat, or do you like to load all the hot stuff? Are you a hot spicy kind of guy?
I like a little bit of salsa on there, especially, give me some green salsa on there, but give me the cilantro, give me the onion, and then keep it plain just like that.
Nice. So we got a 4-pack of tickets that we're giving away for that as well this weekend. So guys, make sure you like it, share it, so that way you guys get entered to win 4-pack of tickets. The real. Like and share the real. Like and share the real.
On Facebook.
Right here.
Facebook, Instagram.
Facebook and Instagram. Right there. So, anyways, but yeah. So I kind of go between like a carne asada, some of the pastor, but I don't know. It depends on the salsa of whether or not, how I'm feeling. Like some salsas, like some of these places, I mean, when they say they're spicy hot, I mean, it's like stay away. That's like just putting liquid fire.
I like, I like to feel it in my nose a little bit. That little bit of clearing out the lungs, clearing out all that. I know I'm right there.
So you like that? You're kind of that wasabi guy with the sushi and mix it in there, and you get that big rush of wasabi up through your head that feels like it's coming out your ears.
Now, I'm not saying don't make me, I don't need steam coming out my ears. I don't need to be crying, anything like that. But absolutely, give me that little bit of kick on there.
Yeah. So some of the other things in the North County that, you might want to try out, you might want to check out. So in Atascadero, obviously you've been into the Rotunda Room.
Oh, yeah.
So have you been to the very, very top?
I'm not sure.
So word on the street is that place is haunted.
Okay.
So you can probably imagine why. It's a couple years old, right? But so a real interesting fact is, who Steve Martin is and Martin Short?
Yeah.
So they filmed a movie right there in Atascadero, and a lot of it was filmed right around the Sunken Gardens, and it was called My Blue Heaven.
Okay.
So, and that was back in the day when Atascadero wasn't, it was kind of growing, but it wasn't where it's at now. Atascadero has kind of exploded in the last, 10 years. So, but there's a lot of cool places in the North County that if you haven't been there, you got to go. And if you don't know, you got to stop in and check it out, because there's a lot of stuff down in Plata Lane. I mean, there's so many cool places in Atascadero.
Just as long as they're not all haunted, I'm all for it. There we go.
Well, there's places that are supposedly, I'm not 100% sure, but
okay.
I'm sure there's a lot more places than we expect. But what I wanted to also hit on is the Atascadero Bible Church. So I've never been there before, and I was amazed at how massive this place is.
Yeah, I mean, we have been doing that. Kind of coming back, I mean, it's very, very rare that you will find a campus like ours that is helping those that are facing homelessness, that is right across the street from a church, a middle school, and a high school. And to have all three of those having, supporting Echo, volunteering at Echo, being a part of Echo's history is pretty incredible too. So having access to that church and being able to go there and put on an event, and the fact that they donate it, a bunch of their guys come on and help us set up all the tables, they help us serve, do all those pieces, and they're part of our volunteer corps. It's just awesome to have another connection.
So for Echo, because I noticed where you guys are at. You guys are right there by the high school. Mm-hmm. So do you do a lot of functions over there in the church area?
Not too many. We've done empty bowls every year over there for for at least, I think, the past 8 years. We've done that. But they invite us over. We do speaking engagements over there. We talk to their congregation. The middle school and the high school are always reaching out to us to have conversations with students. The students usually around the holidays do fundraisers for us, collecting socks, collecting blankets. But it's just awesome to have them right there and learning about what we do as well.
Awesome. Well, like I said, I had a great time. I thought it was pretty fun. I thought it was a great event, and a fundraiser for soup. I mean, using soup, should I say? I mean, it's just seems like such an easy task. It's not like a whole lot of preparation. You don't have a whole lot of moving parts. It's like there's your big bowl.
There's your soup. Here's your celebrity server giving it to you. I mean, it's just a really fun community event, which makes it awesome.
So for these events, are you expecting, or what are you anticipating as far as like to bring in? So last week's like obviously it's a fundraiser. So is last week's separate from this week's? Is it a whole? What are you guys shooting for?
So this year, because we're doing 2 events and we're having that combined, it's been incredible. One, we just always have seen that support in Atascadero just continue to grow, to be there. But we've only been in Paso for 2 years, and this is our first time doing a fundraiser in there. And really exciting, we have actually sold out on tickets for our event this evening and Studios on the Park in Paso Robles.
Oh, wow.
So we have really, between the 2 events, it's looking like we're going to raise more money than Echo has ever raised for an event before, which is really incredible. And we're so grateful, and we'll put all those numbers out once kind of the final total comes in. But it's been incredible to see the 2 communities come together to support our organization.
And those funds are there to help, basically, through the program, the people come through and helping them take those steps.
Our program offers a little bit more stability than a traditional shelter program. We have what's called our 90-day program, which offers a safe place to stay for someone to stay for at least 90 days, where you can extend that up to 6 months. But we have seen so much success through that program and offering the individualized case management, classes, and resources through community partners. We have actually had 55 individuals and families since January 1st successfully exit our program into housing.
Wow, that's awesome, man.
It's really cool.
Yeah, that's really, I mean, there's so many cool things that goes on around here, and that's why we like what we do, is because we're able to help share that information and help we get to know about it too, whereas there's so many times to where you hear about something after the fact, the following week, Monday, last Saturday, oh, we went this and that. Oh gosh, I wish I would have known that, And so speaking of that, we hear a lot of that. I heard a lot of it last year with the Sheriff's Rodeo. So we got really on board with the Sheriff's Rodeo this year. So we're going to be broadcasting live, the Sheriff Rodeo. It's going to be amazing. But so the Sheriff Rodeo this year, obviously, Paso Robles Event Center, May 13th. It's going to be from 6 to 11, and there's going to be a band afterwards, Fillmore. But the really cool thing is with this is you're going to have invitational bull riders, so you're going to have professional bull riders and professional bulls, and you're going to have a invitational steer wrestling. So those 2 groups are going to be top tier, cowboys, riding bulls and taking them down, and then barrel racing, roping, team pinning. I mean, it's going to be an amazing event.
It will be. I mean, I was listening to yesterday's show, listening to Chad and listening to Katie on here. We've just got we've got local celebrities in the rodeo industry here too. So it's going to be an awesome event. I can't wait to see it.
Yeah, well, Katie's husband is, former Super Bowl champion, Bear Pasco, and now he is a professional steer wrestler. So the guy's massive.
Yeah.
So I was talking with somebody yesterday as far as jumping off the horse onto a steer. What kind of mindset puts you into that? Hey, I want to jump off this horse and grab a hold of that steer right there.
Well, I'll tell you what, I'd rather do that than jump on a bull. That's where my mind goes.
True. Both those guys are crazy.
I believe it.
And I don't know if you've seen some of the bull, the worst of bull riding. Some of these guys, man, I don't even know how they bounce back,
You got me. I've been to a couple of rodeos and I've seen a couple of guys get kicked, and it is not a pretty sight whatsoever. A couple ribs, everything.
Speaking of rodeo, how come you didn't wear your cowboy hat?
You know what? I didn't wear it this time. It didn't match the Echo Blue shirt this time. But
you overpowered me? I know.
I did. I didn't want. I see you gave me the small chair today.
Yeah.
So.
Well, we took the cushion out.
Oh, I got you.
Yeah, we took the cushion out so you sit smaller. Well, awesome. Well, it is 8 o'clock, Austin, and we are going to get out of here. And I appreciate you coming on the show and being one of my guest hosts here. And hope you guys have huge success tonight and get extra money. Tell them to give you extra money.
Oh, I appreciate that. But the one thing I just want everyone to know is that any dollars that come into Echo really go back to our programming, right? And especially when you support our events, all of the pieces of the events, we try to be really good stewards and get as much as possible donated. The soups, the bowls, the volunteers, the spaces. You can find out more information about Echo at echoshelter.org. And we're constantly posting some of our success stories from those 55 individuals and families that have moved out on our social media, on Facebook and on Instagram.
That's awesome. Well, one thing I do want to point out was your volunteers, and me included, everybody was willing to stay the whole time. You know what I'm saying? So it wasn't like, hey Austin, tap me out. I got to get out of here. It's like, Commander Nicholson said the same thing when he was here. He goes, I don't know if we're going to be there all day or what. He goes, but I told Austin I'll be there all day if he needs me. So that's pretty cool.
It's awesome. And we get that from the entire community. Right. And even, our volunteers, not only at our events, but we fill over 500 volunteer positions at both of our campuses every single month. So if anybody is interested in learning more about Echo, coming out, seeing it for themselves, serving a meal on one of our campuses, which we do every night, come on, reach out. We'll get you on that campus so you can see it.
Awesome. Sounds good, Austin. Thank you.
Right on.
Well, there you have it, guys. Thanks for tuning in to What's Up North County Morning Brew, guys. And make sure that you guys get out there next year, because tonight is sold out, but next year to support those empty bowls. As always, guys, we can't do this without our sponsors. We'd like to thank Escalar Wines, Wine Travelers Hideaway, Rancho Sestero Meat Cutting, Visit Atascadero, 805 Customs, Story Termite and Pest Control, El Red Rooster, Pacific 805 Spas, Airflow Filter Services, Kennedy Club Fitness, Paso Robles Furniture, and Amy and Jamie's Place, guys. Thanks again. We'll see you tomorrow.
3, 2, 1.